what's up, guys? Welcome to ADE Week. Justin Mylo, Milo's Mansion. We're here with world famous DJs and producers. So we have Mike Williams here, which, well, we worked a lot together. We did a couple songs together. Groovy George, Face Up to the Sun. Is there something else? That's it, right?
Not yet.
Dannic, who has been in the game for probably a lot longer than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Veteran.
Now I feel old. Come on. Veteran. Yeah.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah, a little
compared to us.
Yeah.
Tim Hox.
Yeah.
The one and only. Give me the ox.
Yeah.
Our tech house bro.
The tech house bro, yeah. No, I'm excited for Friday, so we're doing the storylines, and then I'm doing this host in the second room, so I'm excited for that as well.
Sick. I think. Wait, did you do the second room last year?
Yeah, but then it's called Hox All Night. Now it's almost the same, but it's just, hey, give me the ox.
Oh no, I wasn't there. I'm thinking, like, how have I not seen the second room, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Huh?
Okay, I'm definitely gonna come party.
Okay, yeah. You're invited, I think, right?
Yeah, he's playing as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's good to know.
Apparently, I have to come. So, how's ADE been treating you guys so far?
Really good, actually. Well, the first night was I just called it a trap because my schedule was so full. I was like, oh no, okay. First night I'm gonna go to bed early because you have to save some energy. But last night it was 4 a.m. I got to bed because you meet so many people and like everyone's happy to see you. They fly from all over the world. So obviously we have a lot of promoters and friends all over the world. So it's good to see them.
Yeah, the first night you're always like. Almost like excited, like
way too excited.
How it would be like after school vacation and like the first day back at school, you're like so hyped.
Yeah.
And
but
went a little bit hard
with Carnival. We also do
Carnival. Explain Carnival.
I'm gonna say this, but it's almost like the Carnival of the North then, because you guys don't celebrate Carnival. But always the first day with Carnival, you also go too hard, and then you have the whole week to stay in the same vibe, and then
but you get in the vibe quickly though.
That's true.
Like a good starter.
There's like a border on the table here, like Carnival. No Carnival.
Exactly.
Carnival. Wait, what's that place you guys always go in, the bar?
Café Jansen.
Oh, yeah. You mean so. Short story, we're from Breda, which is the same city where Chesto and Hardwell are from. And it's actually a really small city, only 200,000 people. And we have one bar, which is a legendary bar. I don't know if you guys have it in Amsterdam, but...
The Bibbles.
The Bibbles, exactly, yeah. Where all the DJs are basically like mixed police. So everyone, if a DJ is playing, then everyone's like, oh shit, no, that was a good mix. No, that wasn't a good mix. But that's actually where I met Robert Hardwell back in the days, and
for me as well.
And Tim was also playing there, and basically everyone learned to DJ in Café Jansen.
Yeah,
crazy.
You thought you DJ, you thought you could DJ before, but then you play there, and then DJ.
Basically, everyone was playing open format and mixing everything together, and that's how it started.
It's kind of like what DJing more used to be, right? Like you're just in the corner of the room.
Yeah,
and people are not really even minding that there is a DJ playing.
No, they put you in the corner, and you even don't face the crowd.
With your back towards the crowd, just back towards behind the bar. Yeah,
I remember the times I think a couple times in Jansen, you were always playing.
Yeah,
it was always fun. A lot
I've never been.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like, I mean, also for us, like school parties and all this stuff.
Is that how you guys started as well, or not? Like playing...
We kind of started out like... Well, we met at Speakers, which is like this party that, Martin used to like organize in his hometown. And like, we started like DJing there. Like
I was starting back to back with my cousin. He was also a DJ back then. Later, he started playing more like hip-hop and stuff, but...
Moombaton.
Yeah, nice. We used to play everything, like Moombaton, hip hop, everything, like what the young kids are obviously the same for you guys. And then we just we were just messing around. But it was it was like 700 people or something. It was a good venue.
It's crazy actually.
For us being, I think like 14, 15.
Yeah.
And you guys weren't producing then at the time, right? So you
Yeah.
started as a DJ and then started
Yeah,
or not?
at the same time, but then DJing went a little bit better than
Yeah.
like production took time. So
Mhm.
I remember I was trying some production out, like I was putting in
Yeah.
my set and it just didn't work, honestly. But I was like trying to test it. But
I remember we did like this Ibiza trip, like we made this Moombaton track.
and then the show never happened.
Oh, nice. Like super excited.
Someone paid for the whole trip, and the show never happened.
It was crazy. Like I don't know, like if this was the smartest idea, but like there was this guy who had this idea. Yeah, let's do a kids party on Ibiza.
Oh wow.
Kids party.
Yeah, like 12 to 15.
Oh,
For
yeah.
all the kids there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was also already like questionable.
Yeah.
And like at Privilege, which is like
Oh wow.
what is it, like 15,000 people or 15,000 capacity club, and we all flew out there. Like I think we spent like 2 weeks on the island with like trying to promote the party, and then it never happened.
Yeah. It was just like
at
a
least
free kids
free
holiday.
vacation.
Oh nice.
Ibiza. Is Ibiza that magical for you guys?
It was in the beginning, yeah. I mean, that was when Hardwell was blowing up, and I was warming up for him, of course, at Ushuaia. And I remember we also played Pacha at the time, but like from 6 to 7 or something, or 6 to 8. And that was an insane experience. And I remember that we partied really hard on the island, so we looked like super pale and white. And then, we played from till 8 in the morning, and we had to go straight to the airport back to Amsterdam, and everyone in the plane was like all like tanned and chilled, and we go in the plane like completely wasted, all white. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I've had the 7 or 8 in the morning flight from
It's
straight
the
from
red eye.
high.
No.
Yeah.
In general, like touring, like a lot of shows, you're like, you play a show, you just like have maybe a little after party or chill after, and then it's like straight to the airport.
Yeah,
I
because-
hate that. Like we always try to get like later flights, but then or you don't make it to the next show. It's just, you
Yeah, it
always
depends
end
on
up
festival
having
season, yeah.
having a horrible
Festivals are
flight.
usually like early slots, so
Like, just
Yeah.
like
And you always try in the beginning to not drink that much, but then you drink one and then
Yeah, but I
two.
think it's also like you get the energy from the show,
yeah.
and then you're like hyped. I can never sleep after a show.
yeah, adrenaline.
Neither.
So you're like, okay, I mean, you could stay for one drink,
Yeah.
and then it ends up.
Yeah, you
with-
feel like Superman, and then next day you're hit by a truck.
yeah,
literally, that's what I think is crazy with like ADE. Like, it's like I'm from Amsterdam, and all of a sudden it's like there's people in the streets like recognizing you. While usually like the area we play at, we always go out there, and it's like just us and friends just chilling. And now all of a sudden it's like almost like a completely different place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I really like sometimes forget that ADE is for like a lot of like for a big audience.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of people coming to Amsterdam for ADE, obviously, but like sometimes, I had the idea it was only like our little bubble or something, but it's like the city is super crowded. There's so many cars. The traffic is. I mean, it's like it's a very big thing internationally as well.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Lots of tourists coming as well. It's insane. Yeah.
Especially now, like more the techno stuff and like
Yeah.
getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
think
Awakeness is sold out every evening.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
because I think it started more like a fair, right? A music fair, so basically a
Yeah.
networking event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's this big like party and network event. And I think Ultra and Miami was always the place to, hang out. But I think here there are more people you can actually network with, and
There's
yeah.
more business.
more business, and Miami is more the party.
But what do you
Side.
like? What do you guys like the most? The party or the network?
I'm
Is
all
there a
about business
difference?
now.
no.
I think the combination is really good.
Yeah.
The only thing is that if you have a party and you have to be somewhere at 10 in the morning to give like a panel or something.
Yeah, it can be intense, but
Yeah, luckily I had the panel on the first day.
yeah, how was it?
Smart.
Went in fresh.
How was
It was
it?
fun actually. It was interesting. All of a sudden, Afrojack randomly joined, which was funny.
What was it about? Like the
Honestly, it was just like us talking about how we all met and like
oh, okay, yeah,
how we got into music, kind of what we're doing now.
yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like, it's funny like how, well, even with Mike as well, like how sort of like groups of like DJs together come up, like with you and Hardwell and
Yeah.
Dyro and
Yeah.
and yeah, it's funny like how there's like generations of DJs.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm doing on Saturday. I'm doing a legacy set at Revealed with Dyro
Sick.
back to back, and I think maybe Robert is also joining. So
Sick.
I can say that now because this will be airing later. But
Yeah,
so and then at the time everyone's like, "Oh, Dutch House Mafia," and and we never did a collab. So that's yeah. We still have some demos laying around, but you know, Robert went his way, Dyro went his way.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, who knows?
You guys, because I remember that footage. Like that's also the stuff I grew up with making music. Like the bus tour you guys
Yeah,
did in America.
that was insane.
I still hear stories from that bus
Yeah.
from like numerous people.
Yeah, that's
in our
but it was
industry.
insane, and I'm really happy and grateful that I could experience it, because nowadays it's harder to do a bus tour like that. But yeah,
I don't
that
think
was
anyone is doing that.
no,
Especially
unless
not
you're like
European.
maybe Chainsmokers or like a big act. And but yeah, we did all those college tours,
Yeah.
like college shows, and it was insane. And then of course Robert was also like in his peak EDM era,
Yeah.
so everything just basically came together. And also the EDM really boomed at that time in America, so that was like 2013, 14. Yeah, that was insane. Did you guys do something like that as well, or?
No, unfortunately, I wish.
No. Yeah, yeah.
No, honestly, the only we did like a big India tour, which is also insane. But just I don't know, just that like the bus idea.
Yeah,
is
that's the
just
thing.
such an iconic.
Yeah.
You sleep on the bus, and you just drive, and then
But
You
was
party.
it every day a party, by the way?
almost every day.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
we only had maybe 1 or 2 buses in between, like
Yeah.
days off. Yeah,
Crazy.
and then we basically slept because it was just
Yeah, of course.
completely wasted.
But I feel it's better than just traveling by plane. Or
Oh,
is-
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it saves so
It's
much
more
time.
fun as well.
It's
You
definitely
can-
more fun.
Yeah,
And we
you
had
can,
like a PlayStation
bring
on the
people.
bus,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
we could grab some food on the bus. Everything was on the bus, because you can imagine what kind of smell it was.
Oh, wow.
And we had in the back of the bus, we had this little studio set up. So
Sick.
we got sponsored by Focal, the studio speakers, but they were way too big. But the thing was, like, in the back of the bus, there's what the engine is, and those American buses that make so much noise, so we couldn't do anything. So we just ended up using our headphones and make some stuff, but usually edits and bootlegs, and that was fun.
So fun. Still, I think one of my dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like bring the boys. Just it's like just a boys trip kind of.
It is,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna come back, or that's
mean,
possible?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I know I don't know. It's interesting, like what's going on in dance music. Like it's all over the place. There's not. I mean, there's certain genres that you can say that's like becoming popular now, but there's nothing like that's as big as what EDM was in
Mhm.
those days.
No, it feels like everything is like it's one niche at a time,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
if you see like hard techno is a little bit popular again, but yeah,
Rookie mistake.
but and you see house as well, but
Yeah.
the house never left or so.
No,
and
never.
but you see it's ups and downs, but there's not a particular genre that is popping off what EDM was back then.
I'm a big believer in cycles. I think if I could point a date, I think we're in 2011 somehow, like in the cycle, and then I think it's gonna be. Of course, it evolves.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
For instance, like you can see what Martijn is playing now. More the progressive stuff is coming back. What Mike is doing. It's just it comes in cycles, and of course in between you have those trends and hype sounds that come and go. But it's always I love the mixture of genres is really cool now.
Yeah,
I think
true.
for instance Maddox is insane that he's able to do the more commercial stuff, but also got picked up by Charlotte de Witt and has the more credit. That's insane, and he's even playing.
He kind of found a bridge between EDM and techno.
Yeah, but he's
and
also like playing State of Trance. Like
Yeah.
that's insane. I really appreciate that, of course. So there's no boundaries anymore.
Yeah, there are literally zero boundaries.
But I do feel that the trends are shorter right now.
Yeah, it's very quick.
Yeah.
It's like
TikTok.
some artists also, they peak and they just go away after a year or something.
Yeah, true. But then because people feel that it's too, that it's always the same what they produce, and then I think but that's that's your brand, right? Yeah.
But it's all I think also the way we consume the music and social media, everything's so fast paced now.
Yeah.
And I truly believe, maybe I'm old fashioned now, but that that it will slow down again, that people can appreciate even podcasts like this and just listen for 1 hour instead of the
I feel
quick
like
takes.
it has to, because there's going to be a limit, right?
Yeah.
Where we are all just like there's too much information.
Too
or
much
like
stuff going on.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times, like when I'm on my phone, I'm like just scrolling, and I'm like, what am I even looking at?
Yeah.
Funny cat movies. And
Like at 4 a.m. You're like, scrolling. No, I saw yesterday. I was at a drink, and they were handing out phones. I don't know. It was not at that drink, but somewhere else. Phones where you could only call with and message, like SMS.
like a Nokia, proper Nokia.
Yeah, but then even more simple. They were
Okay.
just handing them out like as.
Oh, nice.
So there's no social media, nothing, and no one is gonna probably use it. But I thought it was a pretty like interesting idea. That imagine if we would go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like James Hype tried it right with Medusa with the no phone policy and stuff.
But that doesn't really. I saw a video.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. But like,
Yeah.
I love the idea behind it, but it's
Yeah, where they're like all just like there was an intro and everyone was like didn't really work.
I mean, when you think about it, it's kind of weird. Like you're in a place with like, well, I guess when you go out, you go with your friends and like you're with people that you like to be with.
Yeah.
And then you stand there all night filming for I don't know, thousands of people that are not there with you. It's kind of.
But I don't get it like that they filmed the whole thing. Like I can imagine just like, hey, we're here, and then just put your phone away.
Yeah, but then he's from 1001 Tracklist. He's just checking you.
And like, I don't know, when I travel as well, like sometimes, I mean, all DJs do it, like the picture on the plane outside of the window. I'm like, am I ever gonna look at this photo ever again in my life? It's sort of weird, like how everyone is so focused on having everything on social media for some reason. I don't know. What's the idea of? It's kind of like,
I think
look at me.
People want to show that their life is great. That's the whole point. And I think, we need to. I'm never been like a great user of with filming like stories and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah.
But
I think like nowadays people are watching other people living their lives instead of living their own.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
like,
deep.
yeah, no, I didn't make
deep now.
like it's not my take. Someone else told me, but no, because like you're just like watching other people having a good life, and then you put your phone away. You're like, okay, like what am I gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think you're going to try to prove yourself that you are also living a good life with filming it again. So it's sort of vicious
it's
circle.
but
you're just comparing yourself
Yeah,
the whole
exactly.
time with other people.
I get that, but I think also from a fan perspective, I think it's nice to follow someone, you know, that you're a fan of or whatever, and you just want to see
in
like
a certain way, it's good.
Of course, it makes sense.
For inspiration.
no,
not even that, but people just like. That's why I think vloggers, YouTubers do so well because, you know, I was watching this YouTuber. He just visited his grandma. That's it. That's the whole vlog, and I was watching it for 50 minutes. I'm like,
4 million views.
That's just watch, but you like to see the story behind it, right? So that's something.
but I think that's kind of cool. Like that's like kind of like authentic.
I think that's the
stuff.
word. If it's authentic, it
Yeah.
makes sense. If you are going to act like, oh, this is great and I have to do this, I think
Yeah.
people will
People will
find out.
automatically notice that.
notice it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
You said the word comparing. Like, is that something that kind of like messes with your creative process sometimes?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It kills
Yeah.
your own path and luck and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you are so focused on trying to get that viral or trying to get that the same amount of views what other people have with
Yeah.
virality, then you will only think, oh, why isn't this doing well? Maybe I need to change it like this, and that's sort of it makes your brain sort of talks
Yeah.
it or something like
I
that.
think it's robbing you of your own progression that you're
Yeah.
making. So, of course, naturally everyone, because it's our psyche, is comparing.
Of course.
Like I don't know, like the small things like, oh, he's wearing new shoes. Oh shit, I still have those shoes. I don't know, like small things, but also like we're sitting here, of course, as friends and we know each other for a while. But in somehow we're also like competition, right? In a sense of the lineup of a festival can
Yeah,
only
of course.
hold
Mhm.
these amount of genres or DJs. So in the end, everyone's comparing. Oh, he's playing that festival. Why am I not playing that
Yeah.
festival? Those are things that go through your head. I think it's just a way of how you deal with those thoughts. Now this sounds a little deep, but
Yeah.
to not let your own path or journey destroy it, basically.
But I think sometimes if you focus that much on what other people are doing, then you don't see to yourself what you have done or what you are doing
Yeah,
right
your own
now.
achievements.
Because other people are looking at you the same way you
Yeah,
look at them.
Yeah.
Like, I want to
Yeah.
be this guy.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And then
you did
you're
this and
complaining.
that. Yeah, and then
Yeah, but because like a big thing for me this year is that I started doing YouTube videos, and it's not that it's like the views of some like a Zen World gets or like the big YouTubers get, but there are a lot of people who said to me, "Hey, I watch your YouTube videos," and that's for me already a sort of win, you know.
yeah,
And I think that's something that you need to take. I've seen numbers of people just complaining the whole time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then now I'm in a place again where then everything feels good again. That you
Yeah.
are creatively free. That you do what you
Yeah,
want.
and also sometimes I can see it with the content I post. Is like sometimes it does not really well,
No.
but I get a lot of like the comments I get, and also like personal or like in my DM or something. They're like, "Yo, this was really cool," and like the views were shit, and like
Yeah.
so you kind of like, okay, should I post this again? But at the same time, that's the content that is like that people want to see. Maybe it doesn't get the views, but it's weird sometimes that something good doesn't always mean it's doing
No.
good.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same with this podcast. Actually, like, it's not like I'm. What's this guy at Spotify with that crazy podcast?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
It's
Yeah.
not like I'm Joe Rogan,
Yet.
but yet.
Just be delusional about
year
it.
later.
But no, like a lot of times, like when I'm traveling or touring, there's like people that come up to me and like, "Yo, bro, I've really been listening to the podcast and like it's
Yeah.
really inspiring to me." And even if that's like 20 people that get like inspired, it's still a crazy idea that someone on the other side of the planet is listening to us sitting in this club in Amsterdam,
Yeah.
talking in a microphone.
Yeah.
It's crazy sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's really good. It's about zooming out and
Yeah.
and seeing the bigger picture. And I mean, I think we're all like one of those guys that got inspired by someone. Like for me, it was Chesto, or at the time Fedde Le Grand. Also, like when he was popping up, those were my heroes. Like I was looking up to them. So
Yeah.
And I think back in the day, people didn't see the personal side of what they are doing right now and what we are doing. We are having a friendly conversation, stuff like that. And then
but afterwards,
It's still friendly. for now.
But I mean, with on social media, everybody sees like the shows and stuff like that. And you're playing so many things, and you're traveling a lot. But eventually, we're all humans, and I think these kind of things just help show your humanity and how you are and how you are.
Yeah, people really want to see that. Like
Yeah.
Personality,
They're
yeah.
done with all the, like you said, like all the pictures and videos
Yeah.
of shows, and it's all the same.
Yeah, it needs to be authentic.
Like
what-
back in the days, it was just like the crowd picture. That was
Yeah.
just doing it.
literally
Yeah.
the on the stage picture and just.
Yeah.
I mean, I also kind of liked Instagram when it was just pictures,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little bit, to be honest. But
True. But it's still like a square.
Yeah.
That was annoying though, because like if you had like a nice wide crowd picture, you had to like cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing annoying now is like the reach, but I think everyone has to deal
Yeah.
with it.
I feel like TikTok, like Instagram is just trying to follow TikTok, but they not really succeeding.
Yeah.
They're like always one step behind.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
But yeah, we have to deal with it. It's
Yeah.
like, it's
yeah.
but the one thing that I really don't like is that people actually miss my shows. So for example, I post something like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm playing there and
Yeah.
there, and then literally like the next week when I'm done playing, I was in the US like 2 weekends ago, and then someone was like, hey, when are you coming back to Houston again? I was like, I was just there like
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it, and you
Yeah.
know, people miss it because I don't know what.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
annoying.
I know exactly what you mean. It's like you feel sad.
Yeah, you're like, what? How? You know?
Yeah.
What else should I do to
Yeah.
promote,
to promote it.
music shows
But
or
then
just
I think
in
it's
general?
also the promoter that should.
Not only, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, people are following you and they don't see everything.
Yeah.
I don't even see everything that you guys
No.
post. So
Yeah.
even though I'm following you,
but
Yeah, like Instagram kind of decides for you.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, I'd rather see more of my friends and like the
yeah,
people that
Mhm.
I care about.
Yeah,
It's
and I
not
think
really-
people
yeah.
don't click on if you promote something because they see immediately that you are promoting something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
people
could
are
also
super
be
smart
true.
now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, true.
And that's I think that's the main reason that they lower the reach again because they see, oh, okay, no,
Yeah, you really kind of really have to be smart about like how you promote things nowadays.
There's there's a TikTok account. It's I don't know for sure what it's called, but it's like a candy bar, and they only do shit posting, but they have like 2 million views per TikTok that they do, and it's I think it's called Butters. Snatch, something like that.
link in
Butter-
description.
butter no, something, but it's insane, and but that's something that the children are just trained to see that something is being promoted, but if they see that, it's not promoted because it's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's the same that sometimes labels are still asking me for, and I think you guys also like, hey, can you record a video saying like, hey, this is Dannic and my new track, blah blah blah, it's out right now.
Who's gonna?
I mean,
care
yes.
about that?
First, it's great. Of course, I did it, but it doesn't work
No.
anymore.
No.
I think you should post something with authenticity.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then maybe like embed the song underneath it or something, and then people
Yeah.
are like, hey, what's this track called? But not like, hey, this is the
no,
Yeah, I remember.
It's-
I think it was a
people
couple.
skip it. I think.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago when I think one of the two guys from the Chainsmokers just like made a video when he just woke up, like somewhere in a random bed, like super hangover, and just like, yo, there's a new track.
Yeah, but then it's
I
funny.
feel so shit, but you have to just listen to it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, I think those things are really.
It's
you feel
it's
like-
relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it works.
Yeah, but it's also a kind of step you need to take, or if you're willing to take that.
yeah,
Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I look like shit, or I feel tired,
Yeah.
or like, and then you kind of you don't want to do it because you don't want to show everything from yourself. So then you're like
True.
gonna wait, and then you're gonna make that perfect video, which is like too perfect,
yeah.
Exactly.
and then it doesn't work. So it's also difficult sometimes if you really want to
Mhm.
show that much of yourself.
So
Yeah.
that's why we're here, like with small eyes and
Yeah.
hungover.
Yeah. That's why it's only audio, right?
All the views are going up.
Only audio. So now that we've been in the past, what do you guys see happening with dance music in the future? Kind of like, what are you guys like have goals set out, or like certain directions you want to take your music, or is it just go with the flow?
For me, I think I just made the decision to really stick to my sound, no matter what, because I think we've all been there, especially during the COVID period where like everything was closed and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do anymore music-wise because I need to have inspiration and touring and traveling to be inspired and actually make music for my sets because that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Like, so I have to play this big festival. Oh, I need a track like this in my sets, and then I get instantly inspired. So I was like, and I had a good talk with a lot of promoters actually. I just like reached out to them like hey, maybe a really weird question, but why do you book me? And they were basically all said the same. Yeah, because of we know what to expect when we book you, and if I would play, just jump on the next train of I don't know, like techno or something, that wouldn't make sense because, and of course, sometimes you have to go through a period where maybe your genre isn't that popular.
Yeah.
But then you really have to set your ego aside and just focus on again authenticity and those kind of things.
I've never actually tried to think at it that way, of like looking through the promoter's eye and like kind of being, oh, why does the promoter book me? Like usually I feel like most of us think like, well, I'm making good music, right? And I'm like, there's people out there that like my music, so they should book me.
Yeah, it was more like reassuring myself because I was a little bit searching for. I felt like I didn't know what to do. Because holding on to your sound can be like, okay, if no one is listening to it, like it doesn't make sense. But they were reassuring me like, I think you should stick to your sound and just go for it. And then of course evolve because it's not I cannot do the 2012 stuff. Yeah. But
I feel like every sign around me and probably for you guys as well, like every like fans and friends and people who are coming to the show and promoters are always like, you should stick to your sound. Like that's because that's how we know you. Yeah. If I'm gonna suddenly make techno or jazz, I don't know. Like people are gonna be like, what? Yeah, you're gonna lose fans as well, and I don't know. I feel like only some certain people in the music industry that work in the music industry try to push you in a different way. Yeah. Or like in a different direction. And it's like sometimes a bit hard to know what you should do.
I think it's also not about pleasing the promoter. That's not how I meant it. It's not like, oh, they tell me I should stick to my sound, so I'm sticking to my sound. It's because I'm generally like being happy again in studio, and then the flow starts to go again. Yeah. And that was especially when I was asked to do a Tomorrowland set in 2022. So everything was just opening up again, and that was the first Tomorrowland which was like completely packed and stuff. And they asked me to do this classic set, and that energy at that stage was like insane. And that was the click for me. Like, okay, I'm actually getting excited about it again and energized and like, man, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, get that.
So instead of like, of course, if promoter tells me, oh, you should make more house, that's not gonna work because if you don't feel it, you're not gonna make good music, in my opinion.
But also, I also agree with what you say that certain people in the music industry, like A&Rs, are just focused on what's trending, and I get that.
But and I had so many conversations about this, and it's mainly it comes from company. Yeah. How do you say that? Like it comes from someone in the company.
Yeah, the higher ups.
Yeah. And usually it's like they don't really think about you or your career. Like I think you're the only one who can only defend your own your own sound and your own brand as well.
Yeah, and it also feels like I don't want to like. Of course, they mean it well, but it's also sort of insulting about
sometimes.
Well,
if they come with things and I'm like, you have no idea.
No.
For the last years, what we've been building, and then you coming with this, like. Yeah. Sometimes it is a bit insulting. At the same time, they mean it well, and I think it's also good because sometimes you need to get that push to go a little bit further. Then, because I feel like if you stick to your sound too much, then you're maybe gonna fall behind or something. So it's also good to like push boundaries a little bit more and try out different stuff.
Challenge yourself.
At the same time, I think it's a good thing that someone is pushing you towards the side or something, but. Yeah, you always have to, I think, just make what you like and what makes you happy.
I think eventually it comes down to having fun.
Yeah, and I
because
think
we
it's
all
like
we all started this because
course.
we had fun with it.
Yeah.
And then
I was not thinking in the beginning. Just like there was
No.
zero
Pressure.
pressure and zero thinking about what I should do or what is good or bad.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just
funny
like
that you
making
say that.
music.
My best story that I always tell people, like when I just like started to get really popular, I was making music effortlessly. Like it just exactly like flow state. Like I couldn't care less. But then of course you get a certain status and people want more of you. Like you release a song and they want a better song next week.
Yeah, there's more compared to.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
compare to, and oh, you did this, and oh, like I really love this song. Can you make another one? Or
Yeah.
and then you almost you lose a little bit of creative freedom. But I got this insane writer's block because of it,
Yeah.
just by the pressure. But of course, I was touring heavily, so it's a bit of both, it's mental and physical. And then my mom, I had just sat down with her, and my mom is my spiritual animal, of course. And she's like, why are you so stressed? I was like, yeah, I cannot make music, and if I'm in the studio, like nothing comes out of my hands anymore, and blah. And then she just told me like, okay, but how did all those other songs came about? And I said, I don't know, like a melody popped up in my head when I was in the shower, or I was in the plane, and I had this idea. Or she said, okay, so why are you stressing?
Yeah.
And that for me was like, yeah, that's it. That's the whole key. It's just
Yeah.
like if you are relaxed and able to distance yourself and see the bigger picture, then you can relax and make good music, because you're not thinking of what others feel or think, or you're not pleasuring anyone.
I remember when we were
Pleasing
doing the
anyone.
collab, we were also just not thinking. We
No.
were just like messing around.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
there was also, we didn't compare it with
No.
anything else. It was just
Those are usually the best tracks,
Yeah.
in my opinion. at
Yeah.
least.
100%. Like the best, at least what I feel are the best songs of me, are just like
accidents.
Random.
As well,
accidents,
Yeah.
like randomly come together. And like a lot of times when you're like sitting down with A&Rs, they're kind of like giving you a box of like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
what's successful now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Try to make something that fits into there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then like when you go into the studio already with like a set, I mean, of course, like you have
Boxed ideas.
some sort of
Yeah.
a direction, but if you go into the studio with like a boxed idea, it never really works.
No.
No,
True that.
no, that's true. But I do feel that sometimes, even though I know I started my own label as well, and you did that as well.
Yeah.
Right? But I think,
Kinda.
of course, sometimes the A&R helps a little bit, even though we all hate him sometimes. Yeah, but the thing is, it's just sometimes could get so poisoning on what not get signed, and if you, it for me it clicked when I did some tracks that I sent out and they didn't want it, but when it sort of became a sort of viral on TikTok or on Instagram, then all of a sudden it's good and they want to sign it, and that's a sort of the thing that is sort of bugging me. Like, yeah, that's what's wrong with it right
And
now.
it's, you can't
Yeah.
really predict anything.
No.
Also not A&Rs. I remember I won't say any names, but like I signed with a label at a certain point to more focus on radio and getting radio support and more commercial, because my sound was getting a little bit more commercial, and then I did that, and I didn't get any tracks on the radio, and then I did one club track on Musical Freedom.
Yeah.
And it went to 538 on the radio. That's nice. And it was like, wait, we're doing something completely wrong. And they didn't really see it, but we were like, okay, we have to go back to like. So you never really know what work and doesn't work. And I feel like an A&R can like give you some. I think it's good like when you just go in the studio completely with an empty head and just like go there, like no boundaries.
Yeah.
And then at the end process, an A&R would be like, okay, maybe change a little bit like this so it can fit a little bit better on radio or whatever. Like that, I think works.
Yeah.
But already sending you in the studio with a certain box is just a no-go.
No.
No, I think it's just good to like get some feedback, and like for me, I think we all need a little bit of like confirmation at some point.
Or a good brainstorm or feedback session from someone could be helpful, but
Yeah, but
as long as the general idea is, comes from your own mind.
But I do think that the thing is, you create something, so it's sort of really personal for yourself. That's for me at least. And if somebody gives me, I still need to work on that. But if somebody gives me feedback, it sometimes feels like an insult or something.
Yeah.
And even though that it comes from a good heart, it's still something you create, and of course we do need that sometimes, but
it's just an opinion. To be honest. But I think also in terms of, I think we all had it. You got sent a demo, you check it, and I think we all listen. To be honest, like maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and you skip to the drop, and but that only gives like a small percentage of the whole track. And then, for instance, I come here at ADE, and Mike is playing there, and he's playing this thing. What the hell is this track?
Yeah.
And it happens to be that demo that I got sent and just skip through because it's also about timing. When I'm like on a Monday checking demos, click, and I already had 20 demos that were like energy draining. You don't have to say, and while he's playing it, I'm like, holy shit, and it happens to be that track. Then so we are all human. I think A&Rs are never right, they're never wrong.
No,
it's just an opinion,
of course.
and I think that helps in your head also by not taking it personally. It's just an opinion, and they can be wrong. I think.
Do you guys think that A&Rs should have production knowledge, like in terms of like really know how to produce?
I don't think so. I think taste is probably the most.
They have to spot the
important.
trends, I guess. I think that's. I think Chesto is one of the best A&Rs in the industry.
Yeah.
The way I think he spotted you as well, Oliver Heldens.
Yeah.
He has an insane ear for things that are not popular at the moment, but he hears something in it, and then it becomes a big hit. I think there are numerous of examples of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like, I've sent him a ton of songs, and like just the way he's not very specific about with his feedback. It's more of
feeling,
like a
right?
feeling kind of thing.
Yeah, but he's always spot on, in my opinion.
Which is sometimes difficult because then you have to figure out in terms of production how you're gonna solve it. You're like, it should be a little bit more like, more balanced. Okay, how are we gonna do this?
or one of the ones that I like is, can you give it more energy?
or more dynamic.
More dynamic. No clipping.
No.
Yeah, production. I don't know. It's hard sometimes to. When you are like really technical into production, like I know we probably all love our tech stuff and like nerd out about music production.
We're all nerds, basically. Yeah.
And then like getting feedback, like, oh yeah, it needs to be. I don't know. It's hard to then what you're saying. It's hard to put that into something technical and like.
Yeah. But I also think that. Most of my tracks, sometimes I start my tracks on just the speakers of my laptop, and
that works.
Yeah,
that really works because then you're just focused on the mids and the highs.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you start in the studio, to focus on the low end, which
you're mixing from start.
A lot of people are not gonna hear because
I still do it. It bugs me so much.
Yeah, but it's also sometimes that you have that. First version sounds so much better. Even though it's not mixed.
Even though the mix is shit. But then the vibe or something is better.
Yeah, that's. But I have this crazy production thing that I need it to sound like how I want it to sound from the beginning. I don't know, to feel it. So I'm very much on like kick and bass. Everyone, of course, but I need to feel it in the studio before I can finish. So that's why the laptop thing really helps, because I'm not focused on the low end, because I cannot hear the low end. Then it's just about the
what I sometimes do in the studio, I get rid of all the low ends from my kick.
Oh yeah?
I just do only like the click of my kick, and then I make the whole just like mid and high and melodies and the hi-hats and everything.
I should try that.
And then at the end I just remove the equalizer, and then it's just like the kick, and then I add like the low end.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes that works.
Yeah, a lot of times when I like start on my laptop speakers, I like love the idea, but then I get like stuck on like getting that idea then to something sounding properly. So a lot of times when I get it to sound good from the beginning, then it's like also easier to finish sometimes.
100%.
Yeah. It's a bit of both for me, I think. But it's just like there's a sort of mentality sometimes that you need to have like this is what helped for me a lot, because I had so many ideas and I didn't finish them. I have like 1 month and then 3 weeks I just make ideas, and then the last week I finished everything. So
Respect.
I just
That's a shitty week. That
yeah, because I don't like that week. No, I don't like that week. But then I don't use every idea I have, of course, but I just choose what are the best ones. And it's first it starts with 1 and then 2.
yeah, finishing a song is just like
It's
a
never
nightmare.
finished, right? Yeah.
But I try to keep it that week, and then after that I don't
Yeah.
touch it. Of course, if somebody says, yeah, maybe you should work on the bass line a little bit better, then okay, but
No.
that's it.
I know. What is it? Why is it finishing a song like the hardest part?
I think it's because all the creativity is gone.
Yeah,
It's like the beginning of the track is all being creative, and it's like a puzzle and throwing all these sounds in and taking stuff out. And I think at the end, it's everything is already there. It just needs, and then it gets like technical and boring,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're just like messing
Automation and
around, and
stuff.
then mostly you're just like making it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the creative part is the most fun part.
yeah, 100%.
True.
Maybe we should become songwriters. Then you only do the creative part, and then you're out.
Yeah.
Do you guys also like write songs in sessions?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that, I don't know.
I've
Like,
been starting to do that as well.
I really like that.
yeah.
It's like the last few years I don't know, it feels like I'm more involved, and also like doing vocal processing, and like it's just like something completely different.
Yeah.
No, I hate vocal production.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the,
The
it's-
comping and like
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
well,
so much work.
the most shitty thing is if there's people in the room, because like that singer is still in the room.
Yeah. And it's not tuned yet.
And it's not tuned yet, and like sometimes I just keep my headphone on, and it's just like, okay, give me 10 minutes, to make it like, yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes like confronting, like tuning the entire vocal
Yeah.
in front of them.
And you hear like back in the room, you're like,
Oh, it's not done yet.
yeah.
Well, for me, that's also the hardest part. Like, I hope that on ADE I can find some good vocalists, because vocals is, of course, I mean, finishing a track is nice. I have like a shit ton of instrumentals finished, but then finding the right vocal is sometimes a pain in the butt.
yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah,
And it's sometimes also sort of subjective. Like, I heard from, I was in the studio on Tuesday with, I thought it was with Emily Roberts or and Cheyenne. I think one of those two, they had a track, but that vocal came out like they made the whole thing like 3 years ago, and finally the vocal was chosen by somebody, and now it's got like I think 3 million views or something like that. But it finally got released, and that's also think that it's maybe if back then you think it's not a good vocal, but then 2 years later, hey, maybe it's something still working, you know.
we have intruders. No, I mean I was actually last week. I was like a song I wrote like I think 6 years ago, and all of a sudden I was like kind of humming the melody again, and I was like,
yeah,
that's actually still a cool song. Maybe I should get back into that one. It's like, I don't know, it proves like that music is like, can be like so timeless.
Yeah.
Sometimes you forget about demos you have.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. Do you guys have a lot of demos like laying around and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Unfinished.
now more than ever.
Yeah.
Because
Hundreds, probably.
I feel like it's a bit more, I mean, let's be honest, I think the industry is a bit more difficult now, and it's also a lot of trying things out. So it's like, I just made a shitload of tracks, and also a lot of songs, and or when you do like writer camps and you do like 4 sessions, and you have like 4 new songs, like what, and they're all like kind of nice, but you don't really know what to do with it. So you end up with a lot of demos and stuff.
Yeah, it's like chords and a vocal.
Yeah.
When I have like a block, a creative block, I have this little folder. It's called the Vault, Those were just only ideas.
Only
that
Dannic tracks and Mike Williams tracks.
But exactly.
Not to produce.
How not to produce.
That's what you shouldn't do.
No, but then I go back to that folder and I see maybe this idea is something that I can work on and then get
That's
inspiration
good.
again.
I'm really bad at that. Like,
I think Jay Hardway once mentioned that his technique is just watching an Ultra live set or Tomorrowland live set from someone, then mute the volume, and just watch the crowd and the atmosphere and stuff, and then he gets ideas or something. Yeah,
Sick.
Yeah.
Just try that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining. In
You're
the end,
Thank you for having us.
we
Yeah.
ended
you
up
for having
having
us,
an
yeah.
interesting conversation, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching or listening, and see you guys soon.